Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory be unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Makar Kudash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace, salutations, and blessings be unto the hopeful elect, pushing his truth in sincerity throughout the four corners of the globe, in the sincere hopes of being delivered in these last days. Alright, this is the brother Yakanan from the GMS England branch. And inspiration for this brief lesson is inspired by this short clip I was just watching, and this is footage from the Brussels Parliament a few days ago, and interesting statements were made by this man that you see here on the screen, Mr. Brouan. I'm not going to try and pronounce his first name, but you can see him here on the screen. He is a member of the European Parliament, and I believe he's also a filmmaker. Yeah, as you can see here, he's a Polish politician and a filmmaker. And basically, in this clip you're about to see, he is exposing, speaking out against, the small hats. Okay, and he is basically, cut off from speaking and told to shut up. Okay, for speaking his mind and telling it how it really is concerning, the issues that's transpiring upon the earth, all right, in regards to what. So, without further delay, let's play this brief clip showing you that, these devils, in particular, the small hat branch of these devils, are being exposed in a great fashion, in these last days. First and foremost, via the men of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, all right, the men of the Lord, okay, going out there week in and week out and prophesying the downfall of this kingdom and exposing the wicked, all right, of the Bible, all right, the borders of wickedness as pursuant to Malachi, the first chapter, and linking them to the biblical Edomites, all right, who are you so-called white people today, okay? You individuals that call yourself white, that call yourself Caucasian, so on and so forth. You're being exposed in these last days, okay? And the scriptures say, they hate them that rebuketh in the gate, because we're exposing the truth, and they don't want to hear the truth, okay? They don't want to hear the truth of the Holy Bible. They don't want anyone to know, all right, what the scriptures is really talking about, man. And they don't want any truth coming out, for that matter, in these last days, because they're being exposed, okay? Their wickedness, the great shame of the nation of Esau, Edom, is being exposed in these last days, all right? In these last days. And the scriptures speak about a shameful spewing upon thy glory, okay? So let's play this video.
Dear Madam, you have just given a wonderful presentation of how unnecessary and useless your office is. With all due respect, the situation is clear as we look at the recent war. The gun, where is the gun? The weapon, it's the US Navy and Air Force. Who's the gun holder? Who's the perpetrator, the aggressor? It's the Jews, Israel and Jewish diaspora all over. And you, madam, you are merely the silencer at the end of the gun barrel. And this is everything you do here to hush, to stop me right now and all the world, all Europe, for the truth to be spoken.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. I just want to say, because you're always seeking for attention, I know you by now, but on behalf of this committee, I completely reject your anti-Semitic remarks you just did. You will not repeat this in this committee.
Could you please elaborate?
The High Representative.
Could you please elaborate?
Mr. Brown, you don't have the floor. Shut up.
So there you have it. They applauded this individual coming against him, for speaking the truth, for bringing out, facts in regards to what's really happening. And they applauded, when they told him, to shut up, showing you that they don't want to hear the truth. All right. They don't want any form of truth coming out in these last days concerning, these small hats. All right. Now let's get right quick. Galatians. Let's get the book of Galatians, chapter 4, and right in verse 16. And it reads here, "Am I therefore become your enemy because I tell you the truth?" Okay, and that's what's a reoccurring theme, in this kingdom. If you tell the truth, you're made an enemy. Okay, because they don't want to hear the truth. They don't want their wicked deeds and their ways of being exposed. Okay, so when you speak the truth, you become a prey. All right, and that goes into Isaiah 59, and I believe it's verse 19. Okay, 15. Isaiah 59 and verse 15, it says, "Yea, truth faileth, and he that departeth from evil maketh himself a prey." Okay, so in this kingdom, truth is gone, as it tells you there in the NLT. All right, they don't push truth in this kingdom. They push lies. They push deceit. Okay, the scriptures say, concerning the wicked, they speak leasing, meaning lies. All right, and it says, "Yea, truth faileth, and he that departeth from evil maketh himself a prey." So you're targeted if you speak any form of truth, but more especially if you speak the truth of the Holy Bible. Okay, if you're bringing out these prophecies, if you're bringing out the true understanding of the Holy Bible that we're doing on the highways and the byways. So we're the real threat, and we understand that. Okay, we are the real threat of the wicked elites on the left-hand side. Okay, again, they hate them that rebuketh at the gate. Okay, and there's also another scripture that says, they hate those, or they seek to slay those. Let me see if I can find that. Concerning upright conversation. All right, here it is. For Yahweh Shem Yahushai. This is Psalm 37 and verse 14. And it says, "The wicked have drawn out the sword and have bent their bow to cast down the poor and needy and to slay such as be of upright conversation." All right, so who upon the earth is of upright conversation? All right, the men of the Lord, bringing out the truth of the Holy Bible in its perfection. Okay, that's upright conversation. Okay, not bringing out half-truths, not bringing out 40% or 50% or 80% truth, bringing out the 100% truth of the understanding of the Holy Bible. That's upright conversation, man. And they don't want that upright conversation upon the earth. So eventually they want to completely relinquish, the truth and the presence of Yahweh Shem Yahushai off of the earth, man, which they will not succeed in doing. Okay, because the Lord is going to remove the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, in these last days. That's pursuant to prophecy. That's pursuant to the book of Amos. All right, just before the destruction comes, man, which we're in that time now. Okay, so at any moment, we could find ourselves in a position where we're unable, all right, to go out there on the highways and the byways and preach this word. Okay, today's camp, today's Saturday, today's camp could be the last camp, because you don't know what's going to happen from now, to next week. You don't know, how, things are going to change. All right. You could have false flags, popping off. They could pull the plug of the grid. Okay. There could be blackouts. There could be no internet. Okay. So much things could happen in such a short space of time. That's why you have to always be ready. All right. You have to be always ready for anything to go down at any time. Okay. So that's all I really wanted to get, in this lesson. I just wanted to bring that out just to show that, these devils are continuing, to be exposed through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Okay, and via their own too. All right, the scriptures speak about in Psalms the 64th chapter and the 8th verse that their tongue shall fall upon themselves. That's happening. All right. So with that, Lord willing, this was edifying. And until next time, I'll say shalom.